Number 20 on our list is Mariah's Daydream. Daydream was released in 1995 and to date sold over 20 million copies worldwide. Daydream met universal critical acclaim, fusing contemporary R&B with hip-hop sounds. With Daydream, Carey took more control over the musical direction and as well the album's composition. Its singles Fantasy, One Sweet Day and Always Be My Baby topped the Billboard Hot 100. Number 19 on our list is Madonna's Like a Virgin from 1984. Like a Virgin has attained significance as a cultural artifact of the 80s. Madonna was able to provide herself as a permanent footing in the musical world. Her songs became a lightning rod for both criticism by conservatives and imitation by younger female population, and to date has sold over 21 million copies. Number 18 on our list is Adele's 25. Album has sold over 22 million copies worldwide. The album is titled as a reflection of her life and frame of mind at 25 years old and is termed a makeup record. Its lyrical content features themes of Adele's yearning to her old self, her nostalgia, and as well as themes of motherhood and regret. Number 17 on our list is Whitney Houston's 1987 album Whitney. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, becoming the first album by a female artist to do so in history. 4 songs from that album peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, making her the first female artist to achieve that. Along with 3 straight number 1 singles from her debut album, they established still an unprecedented 7 consecutive number 1 hits. To date, Whitney has sold over 22 million copies. Number 16 on our list is Celine Dion's All the Way, A Decade of Song. All the Way, A Decade of Song received generally positive reviews from music critics, calling the album a reminder of why the decade has been Dion's signature era and why the future looks bright for her. The album is sold over 22 million copies worldwide. Number 15 on our list is Spice by Spice Girls, released in 1996. It is considered to be the record that brought teen pop back, opening the doors of a wave of teen pop artists. Conceptually, the album is centered of the idea of girl power, and the hype surrounding the group was compared to the Beatlemania. According to Billboard, in total, Spice has sold over 23 million copies worldwide, becoming the biggest selling album by a girl group in music history. Number 14 on our list is Madonna's True Blue. Album was released in 1986 and it sold 25 million copies. True Blue deals with her visions of love, dreams, and as well disappointments, and was inspired by her then husband Sean Penn, to whom Madonna dedicated the album. Musically, the songs of the album took different direction from her previous works, incorporating classical music. Singles Open Your Heart, Live to Tell, and Papa Don't Preach topped the charts. Number 13 on our list is Tapestry by Carole King. Tapestry sold to date approximately 25 million copies worldwide and is the best-selling female album of the 70s. This album sealed King as a brilliant songwriter, and people like Barbra Streisand, Aretha Franklin, and Celine Dion, among others, covered songs from this album. National Recording Registry picked this album to be preserved in the Library of Congress. Number 12 on our list is Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. Baby One More Time was released in 1999 and it sold over 25 million copies worldwide, making Britney global and dominant superstar in the next decade. Upon release, the album received mixed reviews from critics, with many labeling it as silly and premature, yet Baby One More Time was in some way a game changer for music, and in that time announcing a new type of teen stars. Number 11 on our list is Come Away With Me by Norah Jones. Album was released in 2002. Come Away With Me is an acoustic pop album that features Jones, supported by jazz musicians. Come Away With Me incorporates blues, jazz, and folk music. Album is sold over 27 million copies worldwide. Number 10 on our list is ABBA Gold Greatest Hits. It is a compilation album by Swedish pop group ABBA. It was released in 1992 and is the best-selling disco music album of all time, sold over 30 million copies worldwide. Gold, The Greatest Hits, has been called one of the most influential compilation albums ever released. It features all of their greatest hits. Number 9 on our list is Whitney Houston's self-titled debut album released in 1985. Album to date is the best-selling female album of the 80s and the best-selling female debut album of all time. Whitney Houston, the album, was praised by critics, stated that it defined Houston as the foundation of diva pop. The ballads such as Greatest Love of All and Saving All My Love for You provided a blueprint for decades of divas. The album gave 3 #1 hit singles and is inducted into Grammy Hall of Fame. Number 8 on our list is Madonna's Immaculate Collection. This album was released in 1990 and sold over 31 million copies, making it the best-selling female compilation album of all time. The Immaculate Collection received universal acclaim from critics, stated that it is the closest thing to a definitive retrospective, that ambitious title was justified by magnificent content, 17 tracks, best of enhanced by hard-faced sexiness of Justified My Love. Number 7 on our list is 1997 Let's Talk About Love by Celine Dion. Album to date has sold over 31 million copies worldwide. Album's lead single, love theme from the movie Titanic, My Heart Will Go On, became monster hit, topping charts in over 30 countries around the world and becoming Dion's signature song. Let's Talk About Love showed a further progression of Dion's music. Throughout the project, she collaborated with Barbra Streisand, the Bee Gees, Luciano Pavarotti, and Carole King, among others. Number 6 on our list is 1993 Mariah Carey's Music Box. The album comprises mostly ballads and a few urban dance tracks. When Carey's first album was released, critics took notice of its overly produced and studio-perfect quality, where in comparisons, Emotions, the second album, maintained a raw live sound. Music Box, however, falls in the between the two, a decision made by Mariah during the album's production. Music Box reflects the Carey's vocal maturity, as well representing the album she was truly proud of. To date, Music Box sold over 32 million copies worldwide. Number 5 on our list is Falling Into You by Celine Dion. Album was released in 1996. Falling Into You presented Dion at the height of her popularity and showed a further progression of her music. The album combines many elements: ornate orchestral frills and African chanting, and instruments like violin, Spanish guitar, and supreme string arrangements, which created a new sound for Dion. Falling Into You is sold to date over 32 million copies. Number 4 on our list is 1995 Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette. The experimentation of the sound resulted in an alternative rock album that takes influence from post-grunge to pop rock. It features guitars, keyboards, drum machines, and harmonica. The lyrics touch upon themes of aggression and unsuccessful relationships, while ballads introduce pop sensibility to Morissette. Jagged Little Pill has sold over 33 million records worldwide. Number 3 on our list is 21 by Adele. 21 was released in 2011. The album typifies the near-dormant tradition of the confessional singer-songwriter in its exploration of heartbreak, self-examination, angriness, and forgiveness. 21 sold over 36 million copies and is the best-selling album of this century. 21 is also the most certified album ever, with more than 400 certifications all over the world. Number 2 on our list is Shania Twain's Comin' Over, released in 1997. The album received positive reviews from contemporary music critics. Comin' Over is praised for successfully breaking free of traditional country stereotypes, and also praised Twain for crafting an album with just as much pop rock appeal as country appeal. Comin' Over is sold over 40 million copies, making it the best-selling female studio album of all time. Number 1 on our list is Whitney's 1992 The Bodyguard soundtrack. Even though this is a soundtrack album, National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences registered and attributed the Bodyguard soundtrack to the Houston catalog. Since 1992, the album has sold over 45 million copies worldwide, and it is to date the best-selling soundtrack of all time, with Houston winning over 50 awards herself for this album. Leading single I Will Always Love You became a colossal hit, topping charts all over the world, selling over 20 million copies. Other hits from this album are I'm Every Woman, I Have Nothing, Run to You, and others. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, follow me on my Instagram account, and support our channel by becoming a patron on Patreon, and with a bunch of rewards help us creating together a great content with your favorite artists. Bye.